Yeah, Jexit, you're right. We're doing a new randomizer seed where we just start you with some random items. So they have all these. It's real. Oh shoot, they fixed that.
Oh, they took them away. It's Metroid Prime all over again.
Dang it. And here we go. As pointed out, Samus has figured out that there's really no point in trying to rescue the baby Metroid yet. Ridley's a jerk.
You know, chronologically, if my understanding is correct, this is the last game in the entire Metroid series. You think she would have learned that by now? And Retro again with the Moonfall here, jumping through that last shelf there on the right.
Always pretty. I especially love when you shoot down and then beat your shots out.
And, you know, I think I'm going to take the safe bet and vote for Morph Ball Vanilla as my guess here.
I'm going to be boring and lame and go Energy Tank with probabilities.
And just squeezing out the Morph Ball. Hey, there's still room for the E-Tank off to the east side.
So pretty vanilla so far. Well, extremely vanilla so far. I guess the real burning question, what this next item's going to be and what the miners are and whether anyone's going to take advantage of power bombs.
And chat with a good point there. Fusion, you are correct, is last. Other M, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of Other M.
Isn't that a W? It's referred to as an Other M?
Yeah.
Speaking of W. All right, and Retro is going to pick up Other M right there. Oh, Wave Beam is okay. So now we need to do the office pool of when it comes time to Big Pink. Are they going to remember that they have Wave Beam, or are they going to try and do the Green Gate glitch?
50-50. I think one of them is, one of them isn't. Which
and
one?
I tease them, but only because I have done the exact same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's always fun when you're in that situation. You're rewatching the match later and seeing chat going, "Oh my god, he doesn't realize he has wave." Oh yeah, you're right. I totally didn't. Whoops.
What's worst is when you turn something off, like we saw in previous races.
Yes.
You know, you turn off Screw Attack to get that early X-ray damage boost, and it's just, oh yeah, guess I never got that.
Okay, so Janus got the missile on the way in, which means Retro's taking a little more time on the way out. Still obviously too early to call it for anyone.
And Retro going for the miners over here in Brinstar. Excuse me, Criteria. Brinstar. One or the other.
In Zebus.
Zebus, thank you. Yes, that's the big option. Fortunately, not continuing along west, as that's a strategy that I don't think has played out very well for most runners. Yeah,
if you can put wreck ship until the very end when you know you don't need anything anymore, then it's a lot faster to just get the heck out of there rather than deal with bowling and all that other stuff.
Yep.
Jenna's having a little trouble at the climb at the end there, but getting through gives Retro a little bit more time to catch up. So Colossus points out, I called it Zeebs the whole time and thought, well, of course it's Zeebs. That's how you say it, until I saw it in the Japanese version and went, well, pretty clear that's how the Japanese is pronounced, so never mind.
Well, and much like the actual names of the creatures, you know, you have them in the manual when you're a kid in the poster, but
yeah,
you never talk to anybody about them. You know, there's no speedrunning community 20 years ago, so you kind of leave it up to your own to figure out how to pronounce them. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there was a speedrunning community 20 years ago, but the internet has made things significantly easier these days.
So I looked away. It looks like Bombs was a tank.
Yes, sorry, completely missed that. It was.
Yeah, I was watching Retro's climb and like, oh yeah, the shoot items. I'm supposed to put these out and stuff.
And Janus going to show us what's a Terminator here. Space jump.
So Janus still does not have power. Wait, no, does have power bombs. Doesn't have regular missiles. Okay. I was going to say that means he doesn't get a chance to check Gauntlet, and I suspect neither one would since they don't have a way out. But you never know. sometimes it's good to have that peace of mind. All right, I got it on the way in. It's definitely a reserve. Never mind.
Absolutely.
Both runners getting BT skip. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's frame perfect. I personally never pull it off, but it's nice to see him do it. I wonder if we will see a relatively minor amount of power bombs and late bombs. Oh, man, there's 5 more there on Janus, so they'll at least have 10 going forward.
And space jump for both.
What's it going to be?
And it is... Who knows? He's taunting us. Janus does not want us to know what the Brinstar item is.
Extra super missiles there, that's going to help. And an E-tank. Which, you know, this early in the game, it's certainly nice to get one. It's not a worthless item at all.
Oh yeah. I noticed when I'm running, I pick up a lot more energy tanks than I probably need, and people are usually commenting why. And it's, well, you know, it's a tournament race, random stuff comes up, you forget that something's going to do more damage than you expect.
Oh,
unless you're one of the top tier runners. Then...
all it takes is, you know, going to wreck ship first or not getting Varia early, and you'll really see the difference.
Yeah. So neither runner has ice or charge. Ice charge, very air gravity, probably the big 4. And in this stage, I typically would be going towards 30 super missiles at least for Ridley in case I need it. So I would suspect they're going to pick up any dang charge or any minor item they see.
Yeah, it's definitely... oh, and another E-tank here. It's definitely a bit of decision whether you want to just hold out hope for charge and just keep going until you get it, or just rack up enough miners, but both players getting, at least so far, a decent amount of super missiles to help them out.
Yeah.
And Retro going down for the power bombs there.
Have we seen 100 super missile seed this tournament?
Not to my knowledge. I do know that with the logic, it certainly can.
Oh, it's certainly possible,
happen,
yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose I've only seen it when it's not racing, because otherwise, you know, really after about 85, you can stop.
Yeah. I forget who it was, but one of the runners, I think, they had their opponent forfeit, so they took the time to do a 100% randomized run, and there were quite a few super missiles, so that might have been it.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, Dr. Amamine pointing out. I'm assuming that's the same race. Okay, so we got someone going along to visit the Edacoons and get the minor item. Janus opting not to and checking... Is it just me or those items almost always power bombs? I probably just remember it that way.
Like it.
Okay, here's the big question. Does he remember that he has Wave Beam?
Alright, that's 1 down, 1 to go.
He does! Excellent! That's worth bonus points right there. We've got Retro coming up along shortly. Will he remember? Oh, nice damage boost out.
And seeing what's at charge here. Energy tank.
I love those seeds where you get speed booster right here at charge and go, okay, cool. It's just in time, but I can check waterway.
Waterway.
So now that's going to linger in the back of their heads, possibly. Like, oh, what's there? Was it important?
And that waterway strategy of not having gravity suit, but using that top ledge to get the spark suit anyway, or a shine spark. You know, one of those things that as a casual runner never would have occurred to me until I saw a speedrunner do it. And it's just, oh, of course.
Oh yeah, no, I'm embarrassed that I had to see someone else do it first to go, oh right. So I noticed Janus didn't pick up the green pipe miner, didn't even check it. Not sure if he forgot or he was just thinking, nah, I'm probably pretty good.
Yeah, I ran quite a few old logic randomizers, and oh, Retro. Oh, there he goes, grabbing it with the wave beam.
And yay! Okay.
Yeah,
Both
I ran
runners
quite a few of the old
don't get
logic
embarrassed.
and didn't have morph ball at that time, and soft locked right
Yes.
initially in that little tunnel there.
So Janus decides to check X-ray. I approve of this move.
Absolutely. Will it be a reserve tank?
How many have we seen?
Oh, and
2?
it pays off.
Nice.
This may be a reverse of last game's seed, where Janus goes out of his way to check something and Retro may not.
Retro does pick up the Green Hill Miner. Nice, more supers.
Yeah, up to 25 now, a pretty decent advantage over Janus's 15.
That I would be comfortable at that point if it came down to it going down to Ridley, assuming I'd find 1 or 2 more supers before getting to him.
Yeah, both of the runners are bound to come across something really quick and not too far out of the way yet at this point, but only having Wave Beam is a little worrisome so far.
This is true.
And Retro opting for X-Ray as well.
Good man.
And Speed Booster. Didn't see that last run. It's going to make a pretty big difference getting it this early in the game.
Yeah. If you're gonna get it, you want it quick. And right about now, Retro is very happy with his decision.
Absolutely.
I really love that feeling of, X-ray I don't consider that out of the way. If you can't get it, most people will check it. But it's something like when you go out of your way to do Croc and the other guy skips it or so, and you find, gravity, there's just this feeling of, oh yeah, this might be a huge advantage.
Absolutely, and having space jump already, you know both runners have to assume that the other person got it as well, but there's always a chance.
No one has found something major yet in an odd location.
Yeah.
So we saw the DLC last time.
We did. Both runners blessing us with seeing the full crate fight and not just, skipping through the fun part.
Yeah. But now, you guys showed us last time. We've seen it, so it's cool if you want to skip it this time. I'm not going to get mad.
We won't blame you.
Yeah.
Oh, Janus just barely missing it.
Oh, that was weird, because, I was watching it. It looked like the right frame to me, but I guess just barely, like you said.
Yeah, the mouth, I think, was in the right position, just may not have fired him off fast enough.
But at least he got 2 in there, so... Or... No, only 1. This will be over soon.
Yeah, space jump and Varia, not a tricky fight at all.
I think, though, he knows that Retro is just slightly behind and said, I want to make it a more interesting race, so... I'm going to pretend to screw this up, but actually, it's a...
Yeah, we gotta have
sportsmanship.
2 close ones in a row here.
Grapple, nice. I like this. If you're gonna get grapple, I like it before Ridley, so that in case you need to do some farming, that is a much faster way to do it.
Absolutely, yeah, and not having Spring Ball or Ice Beam yet, Speed Booster and Grapple are going to make navigation in certain areas a lot easier.
High five!
And yeah, good timing there.
Alright, Retro now. Does he like DLC?
Oh, very close again. Just 1 missile off, I think.
Oh, yeah, he only shot 1 missile at the very beginning, so he just needs 1 minor missile and Kraid's dead. There it is. Okay, so as far as routing goes, I guess... And now we've got to make a decision. If it were me, I would go down. And that's what Janus chooses to do.
Yeah, I would as well. You're here, you've got Varia, may as well make the most of it.
Yeah, depending on how comfortable you are doing gravity... Well, I know that without high jump, gravity-less lava is a lot trickier. But hey, you've got a bunch of minors to check here, or majors. One of them has a good chance.
And wisely opting... Well, I say wisely opting out of the reserve tank there, but it saved Janus last run, so we'll see.
Yeah. It's funny. They seem like they do more just because they're always that surprised. It's like psychologically you think, I only have this much energy, I better be careful.
It's like having an extra gas canister in the back of your car. Well, why don't you just...
It's when your energy goes to 11 and you need just a bit more.
But you see, this one goes to 11.
Alright.
And we're going to see what's at ice here.
My stream just started buffering. I hope that's just me. Okay, we're good.
And another E-tank at ice that Janus is picking up here, bringing the total to 7.
He heard us talking about skipping the reserve and went, all right, fine, I'll get another...
He felt bad. And Retro also realizing that that is just a reserve tank there now. Both runners sitting very comfortably with supers as well so far.
Mm-hmm. If it were me, I would grab... I like to get 35 if I think I have to do a chargeless Ridley. You know, just a little buffer space. If you've got regulars and you've got your power bombs, it's not necessary, but... Again, with random, the supers are so much more prominent that it's not too tricky to do. And Janus is going for... Looks like an early Ridley. Unless he just really wants to check Croc first. And he is checking Croc. Good. Croc has been nicer lately.
Yeah, only having Wave Beam, you know, these runners are thinking, well, maybe I might not end up with charge at this point, but who knows? They could be, or Janus at least could be seeing it here in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah. They also don't really have that many non-E-tank majors, so every E-tank you pick up is an increased chance that the next one will be something better.
Exactly, and Croc hiding the Spazer Beam here, which I will hold my commentary on.
Yeah, I heard your comments last match. At least it's before Plasma.
That's true. If you're going to get it, you may as well get it when you can still use it. So yeah, depending on who you ask, Croc and Meyer either helping Janus out quite a bit there or a bit of a letdown, but hey, more damage is good damage.
So a little detail there that Janus did that many newer runners might not know. After you pick up Croc's E-Tank, it's actually faster if you let him go through his animation stuff off screen so that there's no lag. So you'll stand there for a while and wait for your map to come back before you run off to the left. So if you're wondering why he's just standing there, there's a reason for it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You know, a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but at least a few significant things in this game are determined by just how much lag you have, and every little bit that you can cut down on that, the better.
Yeah, especially door transitions. You think, oh, it just has to align vertically a little bit more. But what do you... I think it's 180 rooms or something in an any % run. And if you think, I just want to save 1 second off of every room, that's a huge increase in your time. So every second really does matter. They add up.
Yeah, and props again to the creators of this randomizer, throwing in at the end there, just showing you how many seconds you spend aligning doors.
I love that.
And charge beam here, Janus picking it up at grapple.
Pays off. Interesting that both decided to go to grapple, or I mean, go to Croc. So in old randomizer logic, which is what this is, I would typically skip Croc, most of the time it didn't pay out. I think that's changed now in new random. I mean, well, they've evened everything out a bit more, so it's a more risky skip.
Yeah, I've always historically treated Croc just like I treat Spore Spawn, as pretty much just don't do it unless you absolutely have to. But like you said, we're going to see more and more of them, I think, as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, in both my matches against Fuzda, I knew that he was better and was probably going to skip it and go faster, so I checked it solely because he wouldn't. And in both cases, it had Gravity or Varia, and it was the only reason the match was at all close.
Excellent.
So there's a bit of a mind game there when you're playing someone who's of a much different skill set than you. You know, suddenly doing things like running straight for Shack Tool and just hoping like hell it's, Varia can make sense.
Yeah, it becomes a little bit like poker, it's like, oh,
exactly.
What do you really have back there?
But in this
Retrophile
case,
here determining also that going for grapple was the wise choice.
Yeah, they might suspect that maybe the other person didn't check or why do I keep saying that? Didn't check Croc, and so that they're a bit of an advantage with charge. But for the most part, they have to think that they've been going pretty much the same route or in the same boat.
And Bubble Mountain here, always a good time, made much, much easier by the addition of Space Jump.
Yes. I expect both runners to check all three and then head down to Ridley.
Yeah, that seems the logical choice here, depending on what items they get. And another E-Tank.
Just remember, that means the next one's even higher probability.
Every E-Tank you get brings you that much closer to high jump boots.
See, this is the important part of speedrunning Super Metroid, is to stay positive, not get frustrated, and keep trying.
Exactly.
You know what? I love ketchup. I wanted another ketchup beat. Thank you, Mother Brain.
Yeah, a lot of these runners, all of them that I've seen so far, handle this pressure very well. I mean, obviously it's just a game. We want everybody to have fun, win or lose, but these can be some very stressful, infuriating sometimes games, and all these runners handle it really well. They stay calm, they keep it together.
So there's a comment in the chat, why get any more E-Tanks now? You have enough for stand-up. Even I would probably get one or two more if I wanted to try stand-up. Just because, hey, if you're doing the Metroid skip, that gives you a little bit of wiggle room for damage. Oh, and Gravity Suit. Okay.
Beautiful pickup there. Yeah, if this were an any percent race, every E-Tank is a significant time loss. But in a randomizer where you never know what's going to happen next, the 6 or 7 seconds it takes you to get that E-Tank really, really can pay off.
So technically they are in go, or Janus is, Retro I'm guessing will be shortly.
Yep.
They are in go mode. I don't know how comfortable they are with the Speed Booster Zeb skip. So I wouldn't, they're probably thinking in the back of their heads, shoot, I really want to find it, but I don't want to search everything for it.
Yeah, I've never attempted that one myself. I'm not familiar with what's involved with it, but the good news is that even if they do decide to skip some of the, most of the out-of-the-way majors, they do still have 3 bosses left and all of the sort of close-to-the-path majors from here on out.
And now that I say that, I suspect maybe just Janus grabbed supers because, hey, they were literally on the way. But he also could be thinking, I don't have to do a Zeb skip technically if I have enough missiles.
Exactly, yes. And
another way to approach it.
Yeah, both runners now having exactly the same amount of all of the miners here.
All right, and as expected, Janus heading down. Doing a little damage boost, because why not? Now, if this were you heading down, would you check Screw Attack?
You know, I think because it's just right there, you're next to it. I probably would, but then in turn, I probably wouldn't check some of the ones that are even just a little bit more out of the way. For instance, the rest of Wreck's ship.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I think the more experienced of a runner you are, and the more confident you are in your abilities, the less likely you're like, I don't need it. It's just going to waste time.
That's true. For me personally, anything that I can do to get me as many items as possible to make sure I don't die is a good thing. But you know, these two runners are pretty skilled. They may not need quite that level of self-confidence.
And we'll find out shortly.
And no screw attack here, but still should be a fairly easy room for Janus.
Oh, unfortunately does not get the short charge. Doesn't really matter since it's got plenty of power bombs, but it sucks to go to the other room to try and get it and fail. It's kind of like attempting the baby skip and failing. You're like, I should have just jumped in.
And Retro saving here. You know, I think I missed it, but I think Janus saved there.
Janus saved too.
Excellent.
Yeah, that one's right there.
Yeah, there's a few spots along the way that in a rando race like this, you're almost shooting yourself in the foot not to take the save.
I'm being told to refresh. Am I just watching a really... Oh, right, because I had that buffering for a bit. Shit. Refreshing? Thank you for the reminder. Sorry if commenting too long ago.
Oh, it happens.
And now I hope something really exciting is happening because I'm watching an advertisement for Bud Light.
Well, the advertisement for Bud Light is not exciting, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, it's really not. Especially after you've seen it 87 times.
Both of these runners feeling the pain of not having screw attack as they navigate through Lower Norfair.
Yes.
That is one item that really makes a huge difference here.
I think you pointed it out last run too. Norfair and screw attack are just such... They're good friends.
Like pizza and beer.
Ah, pizza and beer. Alrighty. Oh, so in that refresh, I missed it. What was it, screw?
Oh, that was a reserve tank.
Well then, good call skipping it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to send you a link actually in Discord. I think you might be watching the Speedrun Live stream.
Yes, I am.
Gaming stream.
I am not watching this fancy commentator stream. Or Fiesel is sending it to me now.
Excellent. And Janus farming just a little bit here before heading into Ridley.
Yep, and as we pointed out, grapple makes this so much faster.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a quarter of a second, but you do it 16, 20 times here, it really adds up.
Yeah, that's one of the things I have to work on. I think, oh, a hell run when you have lots of tanks, that's not too big of a deal, and doing Ridley when you don't have charge, you know, if you have enough supers, it's fine. And you discount that, hey, you can easily spend 2 or 3 minutes just sitting here farming.
Absolutely. And especially if you end up having the Crystal Flash, obviously that's that much less health farming, but that much more ammo farming. And Retro checking Fireflies, finding another reserve tank.
Yeah, probably hoping for Plasma to make the Ridley fight easier, but alas. The seed giveth and the seed taketh away.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know the math on that, but charge, wave, and spazer probably significantly more shots required than the traditional wave ice plasma combo.
Right, which
But
is
plenty of supers here if they decide to farm.
it is a good question. Like, I don't think it's actually worth the time. I could be wrong on this. So if it's 100 shots, that's yeah. But basically, the trade-off: do you spend time farming for more supers and then destroy Ridley with supers and only take 30, or do you do it all without plasma?
Yeah, I think I personally would rather have more supers and just fall back on charge if I needed to.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a lot of really in-depth math there to be done.
There is also the factor of you have to stay alive longer to do all those shots. And
exactly.
That
And
is
nobody
not
likes
necessarily
getting
trivial. Yeah, for people who aren't familiar and haven't seen a low percent ice run or even
man.
RPO, Ridley is a much harder fight than
Ridley's like 25% of the run.
Screw attack. Hey, okay, the
Very
escape
nice.
will be nice.
Yeah, that's going to save a lot of time getting back out.
So in this situation, I suspect both runners will go straight to wreck ship after this. To Meridia. They don't need any items, and both are probably looking to do a quick as wreck ship escape.
Yeah, they've got speed booster, they've got space jump, they've got gravity, and anything beyond that before just beelining it would, I think, just be greedy. And Retro here doing some pre-Ridley farming as he only has 6 super missiles. 7.
Ooh, chat is pointing out they don't have spring ball. So far, neither run is validated.
I didn't want to mention it and jinx anything, but yeah, I'd hate to see this just be a completely invalidated run.
That would be a shame. Although that would force a game 3, so that's cool.
That's true. And everybody likes vanilla Shack Tool. Chat calling spring ball at Botwoon.
Alrighty. It has been called. Janus showing why screw attack makes the escape so much nicer.
Yeah. And Janus
Going to
about
find
to be
out.
totally disappointed.
Sorry, man. Fortunately, it's really not too far out of the way.
Yeah, as far as out of the way goes, it's probably one of the quicker ones.
That's the nice thing about doing Norfair early. Screw attack is the only real major item that's a bit out of the way. Everything else is pretty much, yep, I'm going to do a loop, cycle through, collect everything, see ya, done.
Exactly. And if it ends up not being screw attack, then, man, that sucks.
Yeah. Which, actually, I don't know if both runners saved before screw attack. Well, Janus obviously didn't do it because of this, but Retro might have been doing it as a backup. You go, you check screw attack, and if you don't like the item, you can always reset.
That's true. Chat can certainly correct me, but I don't think either runner has saved since before going down into Norfair.
I don't think so either. I'm not going to jinx it by saying anything about the relative safety of the later part of the run, so let's just leave it at that.
And Retro opting to hit some charge shots before switching to super missiles here.
I can see if you are concerned about saving supers. Oh, I was about to say I can see saving it for Pogo. And then just plowing when he's in this Pogo situation.
And yep, there we go. Yeah, Janus here looks like not wasting any time, just getting right out of there. I'm not sure I would have saved there either, but given how long it's been, might not have been a bad idea.
I don't think I would. In Randomizer, usually I want to go to the ship anyway on the way back to Turian. So I'm guessing, if at this point they have gravity, they're probably feeling pretty confident about Meridian wreck ship.
That's true. Yeah.
Reason.
While a save might have been a bad idea, that particular location is pretty far out of the way. And Janus breaking the seal on Meridia.
I was so amazed when I was a kid playing this game for the first time, and discovering you could break that with a power bomb. Oh, that felt like hacking the game to me. That was my glitch.
Oh, absolutely. I was very, very young when this game came out. My older brother, was really big into it, and just having him show me some things like that, and then wall jump and shine sparking, it's like, there's no Game Genie hooked up to this thing. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's something a lot of people like. Another thing people who don't run the game might not realize, the only place you need wall jump in vanilla Super Metroid is where the Edekins teach you how to wall jump and get out.
Yes.
I never used it outside of that, and you can tell the game was designed expecting that you wouldn't.
Yes.
And then now it just seems like a common free item. Everyone does it.
Yeah, given how many places wall jumping just truly breaks the game, I have to wonder, like you said, either they just intended you to never use it, or they just said, screw it, let's just let the player get anywhere they want.
Actually, from what I know about game development, one of the testers figured it out, and the developer said, you know what, we gotta ship the damn thing, and that would be too much of a pain in the ass to change now, so leave it in. I can pretty much guarantee you that happened. We see Janus finishing off Botwoon.
Yeah, I apologize.
Nice when you have Spacer in charge.
Right now.
And the Botwoon item is an E-Tank.
Alright, I think I might be caught up now. Yep. At least they have Speed Booster here to get across. Retrophile coming out of Norfair now. Lower.
Sync check. For me, the clock is reading 37, 12, 13. Yep. Okay. And Happy not as important when you already have your space jump to get through.
And let's see what happens to Dragon.
So they do have grapple. I don't know if it makes sense or not. For me, just out of habit, I always do the Shine Spark method of killing Dragon anyway, even if I have grapple. That might not be smart.
Yeah, I think it may be a little quicker. I personally, short charging is my Achilles heel. I think I've successfully done it once in my life. Not for me, but yeah, I think just doing the math, it is a little bit of a quicker kill here.
Although if you can get a blue suit out of it, if you do a flawless Dragon and you can get a blue suit out of it, then you might. But anyway, actually that brings up a good point. A lot of times when you're watching runners do Randomizer and you think, what the hell, why did they do this when the other thing would be more optimal? A lot of times it's just, you know what, I'm comfortable with this, I'm unsure about this other thing, I'm not gonna chance it.
Exactly. It very often, it takes more time to continue to try the quicker strat and fail than it does to just jump right into the one that you know that might take a little longer. And
Yeah.
Janus doing that there with the fried shrimp.
Nice and crispy.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm calling Spring Ball.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh.
Or even better. Well, no, I'm sorry.
Better.
Spring Ball is... Forgive me, please don't kick me out of the channel for saying this.
Banned.
Spring Ball obviously is the best item in the game, but at this point in time, Plasma is one of the few things that would be really useful right now.
Yeah, Charge Wave Plasma, not having ice isn't too big of a deal. That is going to cut down on Mother Brain time should they decide not to farm too many missiles.
To answer chat's question, there's absolutely a way Retro can come back here. A lot of things can go wrong.
Definitely, yeah. Wreck ship coming up for Janus. You know, again, like I said last run, this late in the game with as many E-tanks and items as they have, Fantoon is not nearly as dangerous a fight as it used to be, but it still can be a very big time sink.
There's also... I don't see any of them going too far out of the way at this point. But if one player does spend a lot of time because they're convinced they need Ice Beam, and it takes them a while to find it, that could easily eat up a bunch.
That's true. Go ahead.
Janus has to be feeling pretty good about his position right now. I suspect, you know, like Chad says, he's suspected that it's his game to lose now. Yeah,
neither player has taken a lot of risks in terms of going out of their way to get items, and the few that they did, you know, grapple in this case really paid off.
Right.
So they're both probably feeling pretty good. You know, no deaths, no close calls really to speak of. Retro finding the E-tank here at Mama Turtle and opting out of it. Oh, nope, not opting out of it, because an energy refill probably would be really beneficial here.
Yeah, that's a pretty good call here. That's another thing that's sometimes not obvious if you're not the runner, that picking up one more super missile pack or something is actually a nice way to just refill a little faster.
Yeah, certainly quicker than going out of your way to farm or find a refill station.
So Janus is a bit low on health for fighting Fantoon, especially after speed boosting across if he does so. Well, wait, no, he won't do that. He has space jump. And I'm just thinking of ways that something could go horribly wrong.
Yeah, fairly low energy, all things considered, although Screw Attack is going to make the Fantoon fight a lot less damaging.
Yeah, it's that, and he's already got both Varia and Gravity. He's got his armor. It is unlikely.
And opting to get these super missiles here, which brings these players' totals back to the same as far as miners go.
I realize I just said that a death for him is unlikely. I apologize profusely in advance if commentator's curse kicks in.
Oh, they'll both die, I'm sure.
Oh, okay, good.
Only one of us can be cursed, right?
Sure, whoever says it first gets the blame. That works. Retro up against Batoon while Janus is heading into Wreck Ship, or is in Wreck Ship and heading over to Fantoon.
Yeah, not a lot of supers going into the Batoon fight. No X-ray either. Is going to take a little bit longer than it probably should. Although I forgot he doesn't have plasma yet, so X-ray is kind of irrelevant.
I'm gonna call fast slow pattern.
Let's see what we got.
Ooh, I got the first one right. Good setup. And
nice Doppler.
And Retro, possibly not feeling confident with his halfie, decided to just shine spark straight up the wall. Perfectly good as well.
Yeah, space jump definitely making it. It is certainly a time save, but not as much of one with that item. And Retro now going into Dragon here.
Are we gonna have more fried shrimp?
You know, growing up on the coast, I really miss fried shrimp. You don't get them as often in the Midwest here.
Very nice fight for Janus.
Yeah, not bad at all.
He is all done. Only one little thing to worry about now.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the last major opportunities that Janus had to lose time on behalf of Retro here.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if Janus does not refill at the ship. He'll have full health and missiles and everything into Turian, which is going to make the Mother Brain fight a lot less risky.
Yeah, and surprising as well if he decides to check any of the majors here and doesn't just skip right on out.
Oh yeah, I can't see him checking any of the majors here. Maybe the bottom one just for ice, but...
You know, they say fried shrimp, but Dragon looks a lot more like a lobster to me. Of course, it's not every day you fry a lobster.
Personally, I wouldn't eat them either way, but you know.
I don't think there's a temperature you could cook that high enough to ensure that you're not going to catch something.
So, Link to the Past has the butter sword, but, like, I'm not going to eat my lobster shrimp with butter. Retro doing a nice damage boost to quickly pick up the items. Very handy when you need to maintain your blue suit.
Absolutely. And Janus making the last dive into the Golden Four here.
Janus is on pace for potentially a 55.
Yeah, sub-hour, definitely. Retro checking these minors here. Getting 5 supers, which when you've got 0, 5 makes a difference.
I have to notice the commentary command just says that, or does not say that I'm commentating. Oh, and the bottom screen still says Yoko. I didn't even notice.
Oh, there you go. I hadn't noticed that either. Of course, I didn't notice it when throughout most of the last match it still said that we were in setup.
Oh yeah, warming up. So yes, I want to make it clear, in case anyone is annoyed or bored by my commentary, this is no rush. Don't blame Yoko for it.
Yes, Yoko did not get a voice change or anything. He was commentating the first match in No Rush here with me, doing an excellent job here on Game 2.
That's why we had to take a break in between matches. I had to go clear my throat, and now I sound a lot different. Grouping strats, which can be tricky when you have screw attack and forget about it. It will make the Metroids bounce off you.
Yeah, not having ice in Turian at this point is really just going to be more of an annoyance than anything for Janus. Obviously, I don't think it's going to really matter, but...
The only thing, and I don't think it's going to matter enough, but I can see he's got to be wondering in the back of his head, oh, maybe Retro found ice at like Gauntlet or something, and so my Turian is super slow now. Because it really does take a long time to wait for all those super bombs to go off.
Yeah, it's easy when you're a spectator to say, you know, don't second guess yourself, but you're exactly right. Janus may be thinking, you know, what did he go get that saved him a bunch of time that I didn't get?
Yeah.
You know, at the end of every run, you're always missing a few things, and because those few things are going to be different every time, it's, you know, there's no way of assuming what your opponent has and doesn't have.
Sure. I have both won and lost races by not having a beam or having one more beam and making the Mother Brain fight go faster.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference over the course of that many shots, even just Ice Beam in conjunction with Wave and Plasma. Retrophile here, almost heading into Wreck Ship.
And based on position, yeah, Janus is not going to go for Baby Skip, which, like you said, if you know you're not going to get it, make a good call faster, just jump on in and...
Exactly. Take the damage here while you can.
Just make sure you face right.
And facing right. So that's at least partial validation, assuming that that there still is no spring ball.
Yeah, there must just... Spring ball wasn't in this seed, because it certainly wouldn't
If it
be
was,
the way
of
to
course
pick
they
it
would have
up.
gotten it.
Yeah. Yeah, ice to wave and plasma is not a big deal. I had a seed where it was, we both had ice, but I also had wave. and neither of us had spades or plasma, and then it mattered a lot.
And
All right.
Retro going in for Fantoon here. I think we're going to see the ever-elusive fast mid. And this is why I never win things.
Janus going for a safety save here. He must be feeling either pretty confident, or he thinks, hey, if I'm behind, I lost. Let's just make sure not to die.
Yeah, 15 missiles, 41 supers. You know, no ice beam for the Zeb skip here.
But
Hard
yeah,
to
with
say
that many
what's going on
supers,
through
who
his head,
cares?
but, yeah.
Stand-up glitch is still possible if he doesn't take very much more damage.
Yeah, no reserve tanks in his back pocket this time.
And so much for soft lock. Well, I guess again, if he there's a potential if he tries stand-up.
Yeah, you know, you always hate to say that the game's over before it's over, but at this point, it's pretty close to over.
The other thing that I noticed that's suspiciously difficult for me to do mid-run, especially Randomizer, is remember to actually count to 20.
I have seen a few runners get caught on that.
I'm holding my tongue, but I do believe Janus has managed to do Mother Brain without taking any damage. Oh, but then he ran and took too much to do stand-up. I think he must have just forgotten for a second.
Yeah, like you said, either confident in his the fact that he doesn't need to, or just saying, you know what, it's not worth it. And Retrophile taking his refill and save before heading down to Turian. And Baby Metroid saves the day again.
Aww. If only you could tell him, you know what, I fill half my tanks and I'm good.
Yeah. I only need a few. Don't waste your time. I'm fine, trust me. Just die.
I always wonder exactly what Samus is doing down there. Just massaging your knee, it's really sore, or...
Yeah, you know, there's a rivet or something stuck in the shin pad there, maybe.
Oh, that would drive me up the wall.
But then Baby Metroid just comes along and starts sucking on your helmet, so...
Please keep the chat PG.
Oh man, I legit didn't even realize that I did that.
Oh, baby, no.
Hyper beam engaged.
So, one of the things I loved about this game, you know, this is my favorite game of all time. And I'm fucking old and everyone knows it. But, one of the things I love about it, they follow the game design rule of the second to last boss is probably the hardest boss in the game, and then the final boss is pretty easy. And it leaves you with a good feeling when you finish the game instead of the, oh god, finally it's over, I'm struggling against that boss.
Absolutely, yeah. Having the other bosses be your real trials and then
Yeah.
okay, now you've made it to Mother Brain. You've done your work here.
And
Like
I
you
know
said, it was a really good design choice and a good feeling.
we see the runners now just plow through Ridley like he's nothing, because when you've played the game so many times, he is nothing. But
Yeah.
when you're a casual player, like the first time I beat Ridley, it took quite a few tries, and that was even with several energy tanks and tons of missiles and stuff.
Oh yeah, even just the strategy of sort of standing on his platform there and drawing out those pogos.
Yeah.
If you don't know to do that, that fight's going to last so much longer.
I'm guessing Janus is not going to save the animals. It would be kind of silly to do so.
It would, yeah. We're still in sub-hour mode.
Retro might just, hey, if the match is already over. But yeah. Retro also not going for baby skip. And looks like we're going to get a 56 something or other.
Yes. And Janus is done with an official SRL time of 56:12.
GG to Janus. Unfortunately, that means there will not be a game 3.
Yes, you will not get to hear our soothing voices in the hours to come. But Janus, GG, Retro, GG. It's not over yet. We will still see him complete Turian here.
Now even more people are watching just Retro's screen. No pressure or anything.
Interesting to see where these items are going to be, as usual here. On the lookout for ice and spring ball.
Trying to think places we did. We never saw waterway. We never saw a sand pit or shack tool or plasma. There's a lot of good places for stuff to hide. I haven't been watching enough to keep track, but I'm curious what the average door transition time is. I always just look at it and go, oh, okay, yeah, that's nice. That was more than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's a good point. The time spent indoors and the door alignment are always much higher than I would expect them to be.
Just like I like how Link to the Past has time spent in menus.
Yeah.
Hey, Janus. Welcome to chat. Good game.
Yeah, GG, Janus, excuse me.
56 is an excellent time.
Yeah, make sure you guys check these runners out. Janus continuing on to round 3. Retro, unfortunately, getting knocked out of the tournament here.
Let's see if we already know.
Ice beam at Waterway. High jump at Plasma, so unlikely that we were going to see that anyway.
Right.
And Spring Ball and Stacked Ship.
So with that victory, Janus is going to go up next against Kekoman. And that's going to be a tough one, because Keku is very good.
get your dear forces ready in chat here.
Fear doors. Ragey, this was loser's bracket 2. So sadly, that means Retro is done.
%. That seems about average for a rando here. Retro, I think, checking for reserve tanks.
Oh, was it just me, or did it not say loser's bracket round 2 a second ago at the bottom of the stream?
It did.
Oh.
I think.
Because someone asked, and I said so, and yes, the commentary still says that it's Yoko. Oh no! But yes, I am in no rush, not Yoko. Do not blame Yoko. Something.
Yeah, major thanks to Yoko and In No Rush for joining me here with the commentary. I really appreciate having the company here. I think.
And I appreciate learning from your superior experience of doing more commentation.
Yeah, I hope I get the opportunity to do some more. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have the problem of, okay, let's see, will I be home? Am I done from work? Is there a match that no one else scheduled for it yet? And it's the first time slot's actually been open. Commentation is a word now. I've used it.
Oh, yeah.
Language evolves. If McJob is a word in Webster's dictionary, then I'm going to put commentation. And Retro is going to visit the animals, or possibly someone else.
Well, this is still the old logic, I think, so. Yeah.
Oh.
Just roasting them a little bit.
Roasting and bagging the animals. Wow.
Oh, man, it's just not the same. First we have helmet jokes, now we have teabagging.
No. Victory crouching.
That's true. You just gotta make sure you get the right stature as you run out of the room.
And with one press of the down key, we have GG for Retro.
Yes, SRL time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Both runners improved their personal best for this tournament so far.
Nice.
Well, once again, GG to both runners. That was a hell of a match. It's a shame we can't go to Game 3, but there is a whole lot more Randomizer Tournament 2017 to come.
Oh yeah, I think there's still 4,000 matches or so left to do, so you
Give
know.
or take, yeah.
I do have to note, now that we've finally done enough rounds that some people are getting eliminated, it is slowing down a bit.
It is.
It feels weird to not have a match every day.
The final match is scheduled for mid-November, if I recall correctly.
Something like that. I don't expect to be in the final match, so I'm not too worried about winning. Although I will be watching. But don't worry, when this is over, I'm sure there will be another one after. I think I've heard talk of a double anti-bingo one coming up again.
Yes, I think I heard that the winter tournament is going to be a double anti-bingo. Not necessarily confirmed yet. Good bit of this tournament left, and then I mean, the fun just never stops.
Double anti-bingo with controller randomizer. There we go.
There we go. Randomize your inputs every time you enter a room.
Exactly. And here we see we're in hour 14. Trying really again. Door transitions. Door transitions. Me speak English. Me commentation well.
Yeah,
11 minutes.
There.
That is ridiculous. Just like when you add up in a hundo run how much time is spent just listening to that lovely item jingle.
Oh, it's insane. You know, and part of me wants to say, well, why can't they just make a mod without that fanfare? But then, of course, obviously all the world records would get broken and yada yada. It's just not worth it.
Well, interestingly enough, if you do the practice ROM that has all the lovely stats and info, one of the things it does is skip the item fanfare.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's handy. Obviously doesn't count for any records or anything, but if you're using that, you're practicing. Hey, welcome there, Retro.
Retro, GG, man.
Nice try.
Dear Force.
Fear doors. Yes, we'll have a no damage only person run. There'll be lots of restarting. Yeah, practice run tournament. Just teleport to the end, win, good.
And pretty close item percentage there, 33-36. Both of the runners had pretty good routing there. Nice close race. Even though it was a few minutes apart there, they still kept things pretty tight. And even though this is the last Super Metroid run for the evening, I'm sure Speed Gaming, Fiesel here, will host a worthy runner. I'm not sure how the Final Fantasy tournament is doing over in Speed Gaming 1 right now, if that's over yet or not.
Yeah, that's an interesting one to watch too. I don't know the game well enough to really follow. I beat it once or twice when it came out, but since then, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite games when I was young. I do not know nearly enough about it. I don't think I've ever beat it as many times as I've played it, but I'm a huge fan of the Final Fantasy franchise in general.
But I think that pretty much does it for us. Unless we want to sit here and stare at the See You Next Mission screen for the next hour and a half and talk about life. It's always an option.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got time. I might need to refill my drink, but otherwise...
We'll probably get cut off.
Oh, damn it.
But yeah, in no rush. Thanks again, man. I really appreciate you joining me here. I had a great time.
Yes, thank you very much. It was a good one. We should do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
And thank you everyone for watching. Follow the runners, follow the commentators, follow Yoko. Follow Fiesel for all the setup work he does. Actually, in Twitch, just go to games and follow Super Metroid. And then whenever you feel like it, you can find out who's playing Super Metroid.
Yeah, the community for this game, even just on Twitch, is huge, and so many of these runners that maybe people haven't heard of or are lesser known are really good streamers that have really entertaining streams.
Yeah. And you will see lots of people streaming of all different levels. Very interesting to find someone else who's got about the same level of you, and then you can talk with them like, oh, hey, this is where I am, where I'm working on, and not stress about it. You know, just in case you get tired of watching all the top tier ones and going, I have no idea how they do any of that, and I'm a horrible, stupid game, and I'm quitting forever. And I'm gonna go play Final Fantasy Randomizer instead. Alright, anyway, before I ramble on too much, I'm gonna head out. Good game to both. And see you all next mission. Oh shit, I did it! I didn't want to. I tried not to. Oh, forgive me. That's it. I'm out.
Game over.